Hi class, we are now in week 1. Yes, I wear the same dress every day, so every day you will see me in the same outfit. No, I'm just recording all these lectures for you so that you can have a little bit more in-depth experience in this online class to help you. So this week is Chapter 1, Getting into Shape, Taking Stock. And you should all have this nice book. Ooh, let's see if I can do this. The Career Development Fitness Program. There you go. Oh. And it's a great book. It has a lot of great things you can do. Most importantly, it has a lot of assessments and things we're going to do in it. So this week we're going to be looking at how to differentiate. I'm sorry, I can't talk today. Differentiate between job and career. There's a big difference between a job and a career. Okay, we're going to get into that. We're going to identify and apply Super's theory to career development. Now, we're going to talk about that theory in a bit, but essentially there's a theory on how we can actually develop our career and be happy at what we do. We're going to determine how generational differences affect the workplace. We're going to talk about the different generations. Now, this is the first time in the history of the world that we have 4 generations in the workplace, all with different perspectives, values, work ethics, everything. So we're going to talk about that in this chapter, and we're going to discuss why personal assessment is key in understanding who you are and leading to your job satisfaction. So as you go into the chapter, we're going to talk about personal assessment. Now, personal assessment is assessing yourself. And when we're talking about career development, we're talking about the things that make you tick, what makes you happy. There is a requirement in this class to do an assessment after this chapter, so I suggest you go to ONET. That's O with a star, net. There's a lot of assessments on there, but there's also a lot of other assessments online you can find, that job satisfaction assessments. The idea is so that you can actually look at yourself and what makes you tick and why you do what you do. Because why you do what you do makes you do what you do at work. And it's good to be at a job that suits what you do. It's just that simple. Like this class right now suits what I do, and it makes me very happy and excited to do it. Versus if I was to teach math, calculus, probably wouldn't be very happy. So again, it's important that you do what you do and you like it. So that's what this is about. So you're going to take an assessment. Now, super self-concept theory is basically this. We differ in our abilities, interests, and personalities. Everyone's different. And it's about learning to understand what those abilities are so that you are in the right job and you're doing the right thing. For example, my ability is to work with people, and I get energized by people. Some people are more introverted people. They don't like to do that. Make sure that you're in a job that makes you happy. I need to be with people and helping people. Other people don't like to do that. So that's my abilities, okay? Everyone has them. So every occupation requires certain characteristics, abilities, and interests, and personality traits. That's why we're doing an assessment, because you have specific traits, so do I, we all do. And the happiest workers are the ones who understand that and find that niche. And that's what we're going to help you do, is to find your niche, okay? Each of us is qualified for a number of occupations. That's very true. No, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. A lot of, we call it transferable skills. You can transfer them from one to another depending on the class, or the career. Thinking class, I'm a teacher. But anyway, they transfer back and forth, okay? But they can go across a lot of different careers. And we also have vocational preferences, like I was saying, based on our self-concept and what we think. It's very important that your values align with a career. I just had to give up a job recently because I was experiencing extreme distress, and when I had a chance to think about it, it was because the values of the person I was working for were not in line with my values, and I wasn't happy. And I was really having a lot of anxiety, and I had to make a choice to leave that consulting job, which was kind of lucrative, but it was costing me more than I was making emotionally. And that's what can happen to us when we get in a situation like that. So we're going to help you to identify those things so that you can be ready to make those decisions when you need to, and to go in the right direction. So you're going to read about this theory, and how to actually choose the job that works for you and a career pattern that's based on you. And that's what we're going to learn about in this chapter. And then we're going to look at the life stages. You know, careers have a life stage. And actually now we're working, you know, when Social Security started after World War II, you know, the average Social Security age was 55. And the reason for this, because most people didn't live that long. And now we have people, they're saying the Social Security retirement age is 75. You know, and the way I look at it, teaching online, I can teach until I can't see anymore. My Uncle Louis, he's got a PhD from Harvard, and or Yale, excuse me. He'd be very upset with me if I said Harvard. And he teaches to this day, and he's in his 80s, and he teaches online, and he loves it. Goes to Thailand, goes all over, loves it. And so it's, you know, retirement is a different beast now. So we're going to understand the life stages, and also, you know, as we age, our values change. What I mean by that, when I was younger, you know, and a lot of us, it's all about climbing that ladder to success. But I'm telling you, when you get older, you start to look for quality of life. You don't really want to go after that so much. It's more about, hey, this works, I'm happy. And you realize money isn't everything. We don't have kids and all those things to worry about like we did. So our values change. And so our life stages are a part of that. And then we're going to look at appreciating these differences, because now we have a workforce that is actually literally got 4 different generations all mixed in together. And the baby boomers, and the reason they're called the baby boomers, they were born post-war babies, the largest population growth in the history of the world that we know, and they're still in the workforce. I'm actually on the tail end. I was born in the late 60s, so I'm on the tail end, and my mother, who was born during the war in London, is the beginning of that group. But then my children and their children, they're all mixed up together too. So we're all working together. So we're working with our grandparents, and we're working with our parents, and we're working with our friends. And everyone has different work ethics because of their experiences. What they experienced in post-war America and Europe is very different than what you experienced in a modern America. So how do we work with that? And then culturally, a lot of us work in companies like myself. I work with people all over the world doing just what I'm doing now, video chats and whatever. Or we're on work group teams with companies that have teams all over the world. So it's not uncommon. So how do we work with those people? We're going to learn about that. And and again, appreciating the differences and understanding what makes us tick is very important for job harmony and for managers to understand. And then we're going to strive for career satisfaction. There's a lot of great questions I'm expecting you to do as part of your homework in this chapter, but the part about all of this is job satisfaction. What does job satisfaction mean? It means that, to me, when you're doing a job that you love, it's not a job. You're so excited. You get up every day because you want to do it. That's what teaching is for me and consulting. I don't feel like it's a job. Versus sitting in a cube 9 to 5. I've done that, but it's not who I am, and I learned that. So what makes you tick? Everyone's different. Some people love to sit in a cube and just punch numbers, and some people are like me. They want to get out there and shake it up. But everyone's different. So what is job satisfaction to you? That's what we're going to explore and discover. And then we're going to choose a career. Now, the thing to remember is that the careers of our day are changing so fast. Many of the careers of the coming years haven't even been invented yet. The old stuff's going away and the new stuff's coming in because of technology. So there's a lot of careers we haven't even thought about. So you get to kind of think about that, okay, and what works. And then we're going to look at some success stories, some people that did figure this all out and did find out. And so at the end of this section, or chapter, you should have a good idea of some of the basic things that make you who you are and why you do what you do. So I am excited about this chapter, and we're going to go into our discussions. So if you have any questions, let me know, and enjoy week 1, and I'll see you in week 2.